Hey everyone, Migs here, and welcome back to Doki Doki Literature Club. Boys! It's been too damn long since we've last played this game and unraveled more of this really innocent story about a high school poetry club. But you know what? We're back at it, you guys. We gotta finish this game before the year ends. Now, considering how long it's been since I've last played this, I thought that I'd actually forget a lot about it, but turns out I remember pretty much everything. You know, we're following these four girls whose names are, I know this, whose names are Monica, Natsuki, Yuri, and our favorite girl, our best girl, Sayori. Now, we've been unraveling their stories, and for the most part, they seem pretty innocent, except for maybe two characters here who seem to be unraveling a little bit more. There's something really strange going on with Yuri and Sayori. What is it? There's only one way to find out, you guys. Let's get to it. Why don't we start figuring out? Okay. Hold on a second. It's just me, or did you say something strange just now? Something did sound a bit unusual. That's right. You deviated from your usual catchphrase when addressing the club. Catchphrase? I don't have a catchphrase. Jeez. Why is the mood so weird today? Look, even Yuri isn't immune to it. Stagnating air is common foreshadowing that something terrible is about to happen. In your books, maybe. Oh, that's me. Look, the only thing different is that Sayori isn't here. It seems you're right. Sayori always helps lighten the mood a little bit, doesn't she? It's almost like everyone's balance is thrown off a little when she's not around. Where the heck did she run off to anyway? I thought she just went to pee. Natsuki, please show some decency. Oh, come on. She actually wasn't feeling too well and went home early. Is that so? I hope she's alright. Seriously? Of all the times to not go home with her, you pick the time she's not feeling well? So much for you two being all lovey-dovey. Wow, way to make it awkward. No. First of all, stop misunderstanding my friendship with Sayori. And second, she's kind of been avoiding me today, so I didn't want to force it. Huh? That curious expression coming from Yuri, of all people? Calm down, guys. I talked to her earlier, and everything is fine. What did she say? Anyway, we need to figure out the rest of the festival preparations, so let's decide what everyone will be doing this weekend. I already know what I'm doing. That's right, Natsuki will be making cupcakes. But we might need a lot of them, and different flavors. Can you handle that all by yourself, Natsuki? Challenge accepted. As for myself, I'm going to be printing and assembling all the poetry pamphlets. Sayori will be helping me design them. And as for Yuri, you can... Guys, can you help me come up with something for Yuri? I'm useless. No, that's not it at all. You're the most talented person here you know. Now, Natsuki's pouting too? Jeez, even I can tell now. I guess I never gave Sayori enough credit, but I can tell things are even harder on you when she's not around. That may be the case, but if I can't also be a leader on my own, then I won't grow as a person. So, Yuri, you have beautiful handwriting, so you should make some banners and decorations to help set the atmosphere. Atmosphere? About that. I love atmosphere. Yuri's expression suddenly changes as she stares at her desk and focuses and starts nodding to herself. Your mind is already racing, I see. That's great. It will be a wonderful help, Yuri. But anyway, that just leaves you, Migzo. The one who is truly useless. Don't say that. In fact, both Natsuki and Yuri have some pretty heavy tasks to handle. It would probably go a long way to give one of them a hand. You could always help me out as well. I would really appreciate that. Is Monica suggesting I spend the weekend with one of my club members? Why is he making it such a big deal? If you're gonna make it a big deal, then it turns into a big deal. How on earth are they gonna respond to a suggestion like that? I suppose I wouldn't mind a bit of help. Well, even if you don't know how to bake, there's always some dirty work I could give to you. It's not like Monica's gonna give me a choice, and you shouldn't be sitting on your butt anyway. Natsuki tries to mumble a bunch of excuses like that. If I recall, Natsuki, you mentioned that you would like to handle the baking on your own. Migzo may not like to be around if you only make him out to be a nuisance. So therefore, he may be more suited to assisting with the decorations. Hold on, I never said that. Well, okay, to be fair, that is pretty much her demeanor. She likes to do things on her own, so I think I'm leaning more towards Yuri here. Hold on, I never said that. How hard could it be to make a few decorations anyway? Sounds more like you're just making excuses for Migzo to... What are you saying? It will be extremely meticulous work. And baking isn't? Just what do you think? Guys, let's settle down for a moment. In the end, I think it's up to Migzo to decide how he'd like to contribute. Besides, he hasn't really gotten a chance to spend any time with me yet, you know. So I'm sure he's interested in... Oh, I have to pick, don't I? You literally just said... I'm surprised as well. Sorry. I was just saying, though... Jeez. Can we just settle this already? Yeah. Migzo, you're okay with this, right? In the end, it's up to you. Of course. Very well. In that case, everyone looks straight at me. But of course, I'm gonna go with... Oh, I could actually pick Sayori? I mean, we have to stick with Sayori. She's best girl, right? Let's see how they'll respond. She doesn't even really have a job right now, though. I mean, if it's going to be anyone, then I prefer helping Sayori. I mean, we're already neighbors, but Monica said that Sayori was helping her. Jeez, do you really hate us that much? Oh no, I forgot that. No, sorry, I didn't mean for this to be difficult. Just think of the club, okay? Fine. Well, we're not going for Natsuki because, like I said, I completely agree with Yuri that Natsuki is just going to push me to the side and do things her way. I'm just going to be a nuisance. So either Yuri or Monica. I'm going to go for Yuri then because, I mean, so Yuri is going to be helping Monica. Exactly. So Yuri it is. Well, I'll probably be most useful helping out Yuri. Me? Are you serious? Why would you... Natsuki, I can already tell you're about to say something mean. No, I was just saying. So you'll be helping Yuri then, Migzo? Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm glad. I have a bad habit of overthinking these sort of things, so I think your assistance will be very useful. That's great to hear. Natsuki, will you be able to handle the baking yourself? I mean, yeah. I already said I would be fine. Okay. Everyone can tell that Natsuki is feeling a little sour. So, is that everything we need to go over? Yep, that should be about it. Are you guys excited? Well, excited may not be the right word, but I suppose I'm looking forward to it a little bit. Do you feel the same way, Migzo? Me? I guess you could say I'm interested to see how it'll turn out. That's good enough for me. What about you, Natsuki? Natsuki! What? Why is everyone yelling at me? I didn't even do anything. No, that's not what I meant at all. Yuri anxiously glances between everyone in the room. I'm sorry for this. I don't really know why Migzo picked me. And also, your cupcakes are the best cupcakes I've ever had. They go really well with my tea. And nothing that I do for the event will compare to that, so... I get it. I'm kind of surprised, though. Why? Well, I'm not the one acting immature. I already know that. But you're trying to cheer me up all of a sudden. I know I'm not very good at it. I'm sorry if I said something bad. Natsuki isn't the only one surprised. Monika and I are also taken aback by Yuri's words. When she already has trouble with words, trying to cheer someone up must be far out of her own comfort zone. But I begin to understand. Yuri was trying to sound like Sayori. Even if it didn't work perfectly, I could tell that she tried to say something Sayori would say at a time like this. Because Sayori always helps everyone smile and feel good about themselves. No! I kinda appreciated it. I'm sorry for making a big deal out of nothing, but I'm gonna say this. You better bet my cupcakes are gonna be the best part of the whole event. I believe you. Yeah, I hope to see everyone do their best. But with that, there's nothing more for today, so I guess it's time for us to head out. Alright, let's get out of here then. Everyone packs up their things. I start to follow Monika and Natsuki out the door as they chat between each other. Huh? I turn around. Sorry. I realized I don't have any way of contacting you this weekend. Oh, you're right. I can't believe that slipped my mind. Should I give you my phone number? I think that would be the best way, yes. Alright then. Yuri and I exchange phone numbers. Okay. Then I'll be stopping by your house on Sunday. My house? Is that a problem? No, not at all. I just thought I would be the one going to your house since I'm the one that's helping you. I suppose that makes sense. But if you don't mind, I think I would prefer going to your house. Alright. In that case, it won't be a problem. I decide not to press Yuri for a reason. It's not like it should matter much either way, so I'll just need to make sure my room is clean. I hope I managed to make myself useful in some way. I'm not nearly as creative as you are. Don't underestimate yourself, Migzo. I think we'll make a very productive team. Even if you only choose me because you felt bad or something. Wait! You don't actually think that, do you? I don't know. It's difficult to come up with any other reason you may have chosen me. You're forgetting the one reason with the most common sense. I chose to help you because that's what I want to do. But... Yuri thinks to herself with an extremely tense expression. Yuri, you're overthinking this. You wanted me to point out when you're overthinking it, right? I didn't realize. I'm telling you, I want to. That's all there is to it. Do you believe me? Yuri thinks really hard again. She looks straight into my eyes for a long while. I believe you! As if it took her tremendous effort, Yuri finally says that and relaxes her expression. And I'm really looking forward to Sunday. Yeah, I am too. After that exchange, I make my way out the door and Yuri follows. I can't believe this! Yuri is going to be coming to my house on Sunday. Even though I would have preferred to do this with Sayori, my anxiety still shoots through the roof. I guess I've gotten pretty used to handling her at this point. But who knows what might end up happening when we're outside of school. She even told me she was looking forward to it. I shake my head. Why do I feel nervous that Sayori finds out about this? It's not like we feel that way about each other. Besides, like Monika said, this is about the club. I have nothing to worry about. If I just go with it, then I'll have a good time. It's already Sunday. I'm getting increasingly anxious about Yuri's upcoming visit. I keep telling myself there's no reason to be nervous, but it doesn't help much. Yuri is clearly an introvert and also an intimate person in general. There's no doubt that she'll open up a little bit when it's just the two of us. Meanwhile, we've been texting occasionally. Whoa. Uh-oh. She was extremely apprehensive at first, but it wasn't long before I was already learning more about her. Oh no! We're starting to have feelings for Yuri. But putting Yuri aside, I haven't heard a thing from Sayori since she left the club early the other day. It's not like we text each other all the time or anything, but I've been worried about her in the back of my mind. Between what Sayori said, what Monica said, is it really okay for me to put Sayori's feeling aside when she might need me? That's a good point. I would have definitely checked up on her. Absolutely. I decided to visit Sayori before Yuri comes over. Rather than asking, I simply tell her I'm coming over, much like we've done in the past. Once I reach Sayori's house, I knock on the door before entering it myself. Again, we used to play so often that we've made it a habit of simply entering each other's houses like we were family. The house is quiet. Sayori isn't anywhere on the first floor, so I assume she's up in her room. It's already strange of her to not run down and greet me. I head up to her bedroom when I finally find her. Sayori? Hi, Migso! I sit down in her room. She looks fine. Sayori forces a smile, but it's easy to tell that she's different. There's a minute of silence between us. You haven't come over like this in a long time, have you? I guess you're right. It has been a long time. Not much has really changed, has it? Sayori's room is as messy as it's always been. I also recognize the same stuffed animals and wall decorations that she's had for years now. If you came over more often, it wouldn't be such a mess. That's because I end up cleaning it for you. How come you suddenly wanted to come over today? Aren't you supposed to see Yuri today? Yeah, but wait, how did you know that? Sayori had already left by the time we decided the last meeting. Monica told me. It's only natural for her to keep me informed about the festival preparations, right? Ah, that's true. But what about you? Aren't you going to be helping Monica today? Of course! But I'm just helping her online. We didn't plan to meet up or anything. Ah, so it's just me and Yuri then. Yep. There's more silence between us. Sayori stares in a random direction. Everything about her behavior is really uncharacteristic. I finally get to the point. I just wanted to see how you were doing. After you left on Friday, when something's wrong, you can't hide it from me. I know you too well. So, Sayori smiles, shaking her head. That's no good, Migso. Why can't it just be like it's always been? This is all my fault. If I didn't get so weak and accidentally express my feelings, if I didn't make that stupid mistake, then you wouldn't have been worried about me at all. You wouldn't have come here. You wouldn't have been thinking about me right now. But this is just my punishment, isn't it? I'm getting punished for being so selfish. I think that's why the world decided to have you come over today. It just wants to torture me. Oh my god, Sayori, you need to chill, dude. Sayori! I grab Sayori by the shoulders. What on earth are you saying? Are you listening to yourself right now? I know something happened to you. There's no other explanation for you to be like this. So tell me already. Until I know, I won't be able to stop thinking about it. Yes, spill the beans! Sayori gives me an empty smile. You really put me in a trap, Migso. But you're wrong. Nothing happened to me. I've always been like this. You're just seeing it for the first time. Seeing what? What are you talking about, Sayori? You're really just gonna make me say it, aren't you, Migso? Oh, she's gonna say, I love you! I guess I have no choice this time. The thing is, I've really had... Oh, shit. I've really had bad depression my whole life. Did you know that? Why do you think I'm late to school every day? Because most days, I can't even find a reason to get out of bed. Oh my god, this is clinical. Clinical depression. What reason is there to do anything when I fully know how worthless I am? Why go to school? Why eat? Why make friends? Why make other people put their energy in carrying to waste by having them spend it on me? That's what it feels like. And that's why I just want to make everyone happy, without anyone worrying about me. Wow. It just got real o'clock, boys. I'm in shock. I can't even figure out how to respond. How is it possible that Sayori kept this from me the entire time that I've known her? Did she really want so badly for me to just not think about her? Why, Sayori? Huh? Why is it that you've never told me about this? It almost feels like I've been betrayed as your close friend. Because if I knew, I would have done everything I could to support you. Even if there's only so much that I could do, I could have tried a little bit harder to make every day a little better for you. That's why I'm your friend. All you had to do was tell me. You don't understand at all, Migzo. Why do you think I didn't tell you? Because if I told you, then you would have to waste effort caring about me instead of doing more important things. I don't want to be cared about. It's bittersweet when people try to care about me. It feels nice sometimes, but it also feels like a bat being swung against my head. So I wanted so badly for you to make friends with everyone else. Helping everyone be happy together is the best thing for me. But then, I discovered something else too. Seeing you make friends and get closer with everyone in the club, it feels like a spear going through my heart. So that's why I decided the world just wants to torture me. Every path leads to nothing but hurt. You're right that I don't understand. I don't understand your feelings at all, Sayori. But I don't need to understand. Whatever it takes for me to help you stop hurting, that's what I'll do. No, Migzo. There's nothing. Nothing at all. The only thing that could have helped is if everything could be like it always was. But I was selfish. I finally showed you what a horrible person I am. Tears streaked down Sayori's face. I made you join the literature club because I was selfish, and I was punished by my heart hurting in a way that I couldn't understand. And now you came here, and I made you hurt too. I'm just weak and selfish. Oh, Sayori, I feel so bad for her. Oh my god. That's all I am. And that's why I'm going to accept these punishments. Because I deserve every last one. This is, Dude, she better not be thinking what I might think she might be thinking. I don't know. Without thinking, I once again grab Sayori's shoulders. This time, I pull her into a tight embrace. Migzo. Sayori, I don't care if you feel selfish. I'm really happy that you convinced me to join the club. Seeing you every day makes it worthwhile enough. If I make friends with everyone else, then that's just a bonus. But please never underestimate how much I care about you. I wouldn't have it any other way. Migzo. Sayori isn't hugging me back. Despite my arms being wrapped around her, Sayori's arms remain at her sides. She starts sobbing next to my ear. No, don't do this to me. Please don't do this. Migzo, Sayori barely manages to speak between her sobs. I don't know if I'm doing the right thing, but all I want is for her to know that I care. If you have it in you to call yourself selfish, then you have to let me be selfish too. No matter what it takes, I'll figure out what needs to change. I'll make these feelings go away. And if there's anything that you need me to do, then you better tell me. I'll get mad if you don't. I don't know. I don't know. Gently, Sayori finally puts her arms around me in return. I don't know anything. It's all really scary. I don't understand any of my feelings, Migzo. The only time I'm not feeling nothing is when I'm feeling pain. But your hugs are so warm. And that's really scary too. Sayori lets me go. As she does so, I let her go as well. The festival's tomorrow. Yeah. It's gonna be fun, right? Yeah. How would you like for me to spend it all with you? It's It's what I want. I promise. I think that would be nice then. Yeah. Sayori wipes her eyes. If I could spend a whole day here, I would. Of all days, this has to be the one where I have other plans. Maybe I should cancel. I think you should. This is really important. No, don't. Please don't. If you did that, then I really wouldn't forgive you. But it's almost time for Yuri to meet me at my house. At the very least, do you want to come along and help out? It would be fun. To my surprise, Sayori shakes her head. I'm really not surprised, especially after all that's been revealed. She would... I mean, the smart thing to do would be to actually spend time with Migzo and Yuri. But in her case, she would probably want to just like sink into her little bubble again, you know, and be alone. I'm sorry. I don't know if that would be very good for me today. You understand, right? It's kind of hard for me to fully understand, but I'm trying my hardest. It's okay. Don't worry too much about it. I'll see you tomorrow, okay? Alright. I look forward to it. I say goodbye to Sayori and exit her house. On the way home, I find myself still feeling uneasy. But it's hard for me to keep thinking about it when Yuri is about to come over too. I think Sayori is right. I shouldn't be worrying too much, and we're definitely going to have a great time tomorrow. I should just focus on what's ahead of me. As I approach my house, I see something that makes me feel a moment of panic. Yuri? Ah, thank goodness. You're a little early. I'm sorry I wasn't home yet. Were you waiting for a long time? No, I just got here. But I started to get really nervous when nobody answered the doorbell. You always could have texted me. If I had known, I would have reassured you and hurried more on my way home. I suppose that's true. I didn't think of that for some reason. It should be common sense to do that, but I decided to ignore it. Anyway, let's go inside. I see you brought a lot of stuff with you. That's right. And did you manage to find everything I asked you to buy as well? Yeah, pretty much. At least I hope I got everything right. I'm sure we'll be fine. I take Yuri to my room. The first thing she does is glance around curiously, which makes me feel anxious. It's so clean. I cleaned it before you came over, so that's very considerate of you to do. No. I would be really embarrassed for my room to be a mess while you were here. Well, I do enjoy cleaning. I would have gladly helped you clean. No, definitely not. I mean, God knows what he's hiding, you know. Anyways, continue on. That would be even more embarrassing, exactly. Wait, don't look in there. I snatch Yuri's wrist, which was in the process of opening a desk drawer of mine. I'm sorry. I wasn't thinking for some reason. I was just spacing out. It's fine, it's fine. I let go of Yuri's wrist. She puts both of her hands firmly in her lap, as if making sure she's keeping track of them. So, should we get started? Yes. I have a few things planned that you can help with. Decorations and other atmospheric enhancements. Atmospheric enhancements? You know, mood lighting, aromatherapy candles. Oh, wow. I didn't know you planned on taking it that far. Of course. I want to help take our guests to a faraway place. Although many will stop by just out of curiosity. And for cupcakes, I guess. I'm determined to provide an experience that will leave them wanting more. That's great. It's easy to forget that you're a pretty intense person. Intense. I guess that's the best way you put it. Is that a bad thing? No, not at all. It's something that I like about you, actually. Is that so? That makes me feel relieved. And kind of happy. Yeah, no need to be anxious. You can relax a little. Relax. I brought some things for relaxation. I was going to use them during the poetry event. Oh yeah? Like what? Let's see. Yuri rummages through her bag. She pulls out a few candles and a wooden cylinder-shaped object. I did some shopping on the way here, so I happen to have these in my bag. I plan to cover the windows in black paper and use the candles to light the room. I think that would be amazing, don't you? Yeah, that would be really neat. What's that wooden thing though? Oh, this? It's a diffuser for essential oils. How familiar are you with aromatherapy? Not familiar at all. Is that so? It's one of my favorite contributors to a positive atmosphere. Depending on the oils or herbs you choose, you can change the mood of the air itself. You can even feel it permeate through your body. Relaxation, positive energy, romance, reflection. It's almost like magic. Yuri takes the cylinder and pushes the switch on the bottom. In just a moment, a thin ray of vapor begins to spout through a small hole on the top. Wow, that smells wonderful. What kind of mood is that one for? This is a jasmine essential oil. It smells a little sweet and flowery, right? Yeah, that's a good way to describe it. I chose jasmine for the event because it provides more than relaxation. Jasmine enhances your emotions and helps you feel them flow through your body. You feel warmer and your heart pounds more heavily. Don't you think that will be perfect for sharing our poems? It does sound suitable. But you seem to know a lot about this, so I'll trust your opinion with anything. Yuri smiles gently, clearly enjoying herself. She again reaches into her bag and pulls out several spools of thin ribbon. What are those for? Well, did you purchase the origami paper I asked you to get? Yeah, I have it over here. We won't be using the paper for folding origami. What I'd like to do is write a different word on each paper. We'll need about 100 of them. Oh, yeah? What will those be used for? Well, I'm gonna cut pieces of ribbon to hang from the doorway of the classroom. Then we can fasten the paper onto the ribbons to create a doorway curtain. Wouldn't that be beautiful? This is like really good stuff. This is like professional event coordinating, I think. It would also catch the eye of those passing by the room. It may attract some to peek inside. That's really creative. I had no idea you'd be so good at this, Yuri. Is that so? Well, I suppose I do get a little intense as you put it. Yuri giggles with red cheeks. Is it just me, or is she more relaxed when it's just the two of us? Or maybe it's the excitement she feels from sharing something that she enjoys. Here's a marker, Migzo. You could write any characters you want. I'll help you once I finish cutting the ribbons. Alright. Sitting on the floor together, the two of us get to work. I carefully draw a different character on each paper, doing my best to manage my bad handwriting. Yuri unravels a long strand of ribbon to her desired length. Then she reaches into her bag once more and pulls out a pocket knife. The knife is strangely beautiful. The silver handle has an intricate pattern of waves etched into it. The blade itself is gently tinted blue. That's no ordinary pocket knife. It looks really fancy. Oh, well, embarrassed, Yuri looks away. What is it? You're gonna think it's weird. Yuri, whatever it is, I have no reason to judge. To each their own, you know? If you promise, you won't be weirded out. Yeah, I promise. Alright. The thing is, I'm kind of into knives. Okay. Hey, don't let me judge anybody that's into knives. We all have our vices. They're just so pretty. I can't help it. I don't know what it is. The combination of craftsmanship and feeling of danger, maybe? What am I saying? Please don't think I'm weird for this. You're laughing at me. No, I'm not laughing at you. It's just funny how nervous you got about sharing. It's an interesting thing to be into, I guess. But I think it kind of suits you. Suits me? Yeah, it's kind of intense. Besides, it's a really cool looking knife. I can't deny that. It is, isn't it? Yuri relaxes her expression once again. Would you like to hold it? Sure, I'll check it out. Yuri carefully hands me the knife with the handle facing me. I take it and turn it around in my hands. It feels heavy and extremely solid. Where do you even get a knife like this? Curious of its sharpness, I feel the point of the knife with my index finger. Ow! Migzo! Why did you do that? I didn't expect it to be that sharp. I barely touched it at all. It's my fault. I should have warned you. This knife is extremely sharp. It can cut through skin like paper. Oh no. A small drop of blood trickles down the side of my finger. Yuri takes my hand and gives the wound a closer look. Oh, don't tell me she's gonna suck the finger, dude. That'd be so weird. She stares at it and noticeably fidgets. If you're squeamish, I'll go wash it off now. Without warning, you... Oh my god, she did not just do that. Without warning, Yuri puts my finger in her mouth and licks the wound. Okay, she's weird. She's extremely weird, and she's into knives. I feel her tongue curl around my finger. This is getting super weird. Startled, I instinctively pull my head back. Please forgive me. I wasn't thinking. Yuri lowers her head, her face burning up. Yuri, that's the most embarrassing thing I've ever done. How could I do something like that? I'm sorry. Sure it was a little weird and it took me by surprise, but I guess she was just trying to help, right? Yuri, I think you're overreacting a little. She doesn't lift her head. What if she doesn't recover from this for the rest of the afternoon? Alright, you know what? This might be a stupid thing to do, but I do it anyway. I take Yuri's hand and lick her— Oh my god, no! Migzo! Oh my god, no! Oh. Did you really just do that? Now we're even. Yuri just looks at me like I did something wrong. I knew that would be a bad idea. If not for the sweet aroma of the jasmine oil, the air would be extremely heavy right now. You're so weird, Migzo. Yuri giggles shyly. Yuri calling me weird? I have no response to that. Where do you keep your bandages? I don't think I need one actually. It was just a tiny cut. Look, it's already stopped bleeding. I see. That's relieving. The tension is quickly lifted. We each resume our respective activities. I watch Yuri's knife cut through the ribbon like it's nothing but air. Meanwhile, I continue to make progress on the paper. Alright you guys, now as much as I'd love to continue on, I'm afraid that we are out of time for today, but stay tuned because we still have so much more, so much more of Doki Doki Literature Club. I mean, I was hoping that we'd actually make it to the festival today, but that's probably going to be in the next episode. But I mean, that's not to say that this episode was very boring. I mean, hell, we learned so much specifically about two characters. Yuri, of course, being a weirdo who likes tasting blood and she's into knives, but also Sayori, who is clinically depressed. That is something I did not expect out of this whole entire story. But then again, this whole entire story is just full of surprises, you guys. So cannot wait to see what's coming up next, so stay tuned for that. But in the meantime, I want to thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed today's video, please do not forget to smash that like, and if you're new to the channel, please do consider subscribing as well as ring the bell so that you are notified for the next video, which of course again will be the continuation of Doki Doki Literature Club. And that's going to be it for today. I want to thank you so much again for watching. My name is MigsXL, and I will see you in the next video.